Gaffer, here we are at Bradbury End, Tuesday morning. Lads were in yesterday. I think there's a behind closed doors game today. But after Saturday, in your words, it was a disappointing result. But how do you sum up for the last few days?
Well, the last few days have been disappointing, isn't it? You know, I think we never hit the awards. We didn't play as well as we could have done at Colchester, but the stats do show you Colchester 1 effort and goal. They scored a great strike, has to be said. But we've got 19 efforts and goal, 5 or 6 on target, so that conversion rate not enough. But we made enough good chances and perhaps were unfortunate, hit the woodwork first half, hit the woodwork twice, second half, and a couple off the line, etc. So we'll take it. But, you know, in totality, Alfie, 6 or 7 months, it's been remarkable progress from when we walked into the building. You know, that's a date I'll never forget, 16th of March, because my little grandson, Joseph, was 1 year old on St Patrick's Day, the 17th of March. So it was quite interesting that on his little birthday, we were also enjoying the fact that I'd just gone into Stevenage.
As you said, the last 6-7 months, did you expect to be second in the league come 1st of November when you joined?
Well, I think it's a very difficult one. I think when I joined on the 16th of March, the chairman was very much of the mindset, it's the last throw of the dice, bringing Steve Evans in to try and keep our Football League membership intact, because we were 3 points off the bottom of the league with a trip to Exeter. Of course, I got promoted next on the agenda, and it was very difficult. But 22nd in the league, 16th of March, I made some notes in preparation for you asking to see us. You know, we've in 4 months football time since then. It's actually only 4 months football time, because the middle of the summer was taken up by signing new players and moving on some players that we decided to move on. My other grandson, of course, James, was born on the 11th of June. So there we go. It was a real great summer for me, building a squad as well. But if you look at that, 4 months of football time, second in the EFL to Leighton Orient. Richie's done a wonderful job, significantly backed by the chairman over there, but not only Richie, the whole team over there. You know, they've all done a great job and they've got some real gifted players. But we're second in League Two. Look at the Papa John. Some people don't value it. I've always valued it. I think you really learn to value it when you go to Peterborough United. One of the objectives Grant McCann will have this year is to win the Papa Johns. I had it as a manager. Failed in the quarterfinals away at Pompey. But Grant will have that objective. And I think when you listen to Darren McCanty speak, I say that's disrespectful. Darren McCanty, the chairman, then it's very much a case of it's Leagues 1 and 2. Why can't we do well in that competition? So the Papa Johns, we win every game. We beat Wickham, strong side. We beat Peterborough, probably rather fortunately in their away game. And we beat a young Tottenham side. So we won all 3 games, popped through in that competition. Of course, we hosted a very strong Peterborough United in the Carabao Cup, dealt with that. So we're looking forward to Charlton in 2 weeks' time. And you look at that, so you say, through in the Carabao, through in the Papa Johns, looking forward to both. FA Cup coming on Saturday, second in the league. And is a win ratio in the season, where particular season, it's more if you can count last year, we've got a 65% win record. It's incredible. So that's credit to the dressing room. Credit to your chairman. He's the ultimate leader. He's the one that funds this football club, and without Phil Wallace, there is not a Stevenage in the guise it is now. What's interesting is the supporters are starting to come back, aren't they? The ones that have been missing for 4 or 5 years. I think I said that I'd have been missing too, because you get rather frustrated, annoyed and sick of it when you're in that bottom relegation period, and you've been through it and the staff here have been through it. And it's great that the chairman and myself, when we met, him and Leon predominantly through the summer, worked really hard to put the squad together. And we're not playing well at present. This last few weeks, we're not playing where we were early season. You know what experience tells you? That happens. Is it happening at Liverpool at the minute? They're not playing as well. That's individuals, but collectively it makes more. Manchester City had a period a few weeks ago, not playing as well. And Pep was saying, we're not doing it, he was getting frustrated. Whereas you look at Arsenal at the minute, they'd beat anyone at the minute, but they become a little period where Mikel will have that little dip. So we just need to collectively walk through it, continue to do a walk on the training ground, continue to work as hard as we're doing the games, because no one can fault this group for effort, commitment, and it'll take us at the end of the season where we need to go.
And you believe that this group of players will show that form at the start of the season?
Listen, we'll bounce. There's no question of that. We've got great characters. We've got dedicated players. I just said we're not playing at our best, but you know what? We're not playing at our best. We're second in the league. We just took 4 points out of 6 from 2 away games. Unluckily lost to Northampton, and they're a really good side. But 4 out of 6. And then one of my players said yesterday, I've never known a dressing room to have a crisis when you take 4 points from 2 away games. Every other club is like, probably the exception of Leighton Orient all going Yahoo. And it's frustrating because we should have won on Saturday. That's just the frustrating part. But there's much more to come from this group, and a lot more what to do in the next few weeks. I've started a lot of dialogue now with our chairman on January. Who in the squad goes forward with us? Is it everyone? Is it some? Is it most? I'd suggest we're doing a lot right, so there's an answer for that. And our chairman is a very challenging man. He's a real good man, but he challenges you. It's not easy. It's when you opt for good chairman, they challenge you. You challenge your players to improve. They challenge you. So I'm already getting challenged on, well, come on, Steve, how do we improve the group? Is it more coaching, better coaching? Can we work harder? Can we work smarter? Smarter, yes, all of this. But going into January, are we already looking at players? Are we out there watching? I'm out at a different game tonight. Paul Rayner's at a game. Vel's out watching our youth team tonight. Otherwise, so from that point of view, we're out and we're trying to find players to make us better. We're not just going to add to the group. Stocking fellas, I think I said back in the summer, our chairman used the phrase, I copied it, made it mine. We're not going to do stocking fellas. We're going to try and improve the group. But that's hard because we've got some gifted boys in, who have been on the bench recently. So this next few weeks, because we've only taken 4 points from 6 away games, then it creates a little doubt. And when we have a doubt, then it opens the window to have a good look at it all.
But before we get to January, we're still got 4 competitions to be competed in, and it's FA Cup starts on Saturday.
I think it's brilliant when we have the meeting yesterday. There was a meeting with a few summary points. And it was just interesting. I'm repeating myself now, but one of the players that's a crisis. 4 points out of 6, 2 away games. So every other club would be coming in and they'd be smiling and parties, and we're thinking, because we're frustrated. Because our challenge from our leader is to be competitive and win every game. He knows we're competitive in every game. Northampton swung either way. We lost, they're a good side, we take it, we move on. We go to Colchester, it's in the new manager, they get the new manager effect, don't they, in the bounce to score early. But we should go forward and win the game. We didn't. So that's the frustrating part. The nice thing is the players are also frustrated. They know we should have won it. But we've got a good group. We're through in the Papa John's. We're through in the Carabao. We're looking forward to a tough game at Gateshead on Saturday. I'll watch it this evening. So we're looking at a tough game there. And then we've got Charlton Athletic coming here in the Carabao Cup. Now, when you talk about big clubs in League One, everyone looks at Sheffield Wednesday. Everyone looks at Ipswich. Everyone looks at Charlton. They're here next Tuesday night. It'll be a fantastic occasion under the lights at the Lamex. And our supporters are brilliant against Northampton. Well, they came out in numbers and they were right behind us. And we're going to need that against Charlton and then Hartlepool on the Saturday. Between now and January, we need to stay in this promotion mix. We stay in this promotion mix, we'll strengthen in January. I don't know what oppositions will do. We'll strengthen. And that could be by working smarter. It could be about adding the odd player or two to the group. It won't be 5 or 6. We don't need 5 or 6. We need 2 or 3 maximum. 2 or 3 maximum. Our chairman was last night was 1 or 2. It'll be 2 or 3 maximum. But we get fantastic support. Everything that it can possibly done for us from a senior level doesn't get talked about and not delivered. It gets talked about and bang, delivered. So thanks to the chairman.
And in terms of right now, I was about to say we're in the middle of a nice full week at Rugby End, but obviously the Rain's having a different idea. What do you want to see from your squad in the build-up to this?
Well, I want to see the guys go out there at a team building event and build a camera lens. I can watch this championship opposition from my office because to be fair, it's Glaswegian weather and it's Glasgow weather. If we were at Celtic or Rangers today, that's July. You know what I mean? So we've been very, very lucky. God is above us has sent us some wonderful weather for the last month upon month upon month, and we're going to have a day or two around. We can live with that. And boys love to play that, don't they? So we're looking forward to today. Hopefully we come through injury free. We got to Gateshead early on Friday. We'll train and prepare properly as we always do. And but we'll talk more about that on Thursday when I've had the opportunity. I've looked at the footage on Sunday, but with the opportunity to put the eyes on them tonight and see what we're about. Of course, consider what they've also done because they're away tonight. Chelsea versus being at home. So we're looking forward to it. Looking forward to Saturday.
Just one last one. What is the latest on Elite List? I know he's been in London for some scans and the best treatment.
Yeah, Leslie's had his operation, which was always the plan. He had to build up a certain strength process. So Elliot's in every day now, improving. And I think the consultant said he's ticking the box for Elliot to step up his recuperation. And let's see what the Christmas and early part of January brings for the Elliot List. But we miss him. I don't know how many goals he'd have, but there'd be a few. Yeah. We miss him, but we love his cheeky little smile when he comes in. The only thing he's missing is his cheeky little cappuccino. Doesn't appear to come in when he comes in like it used to.
That's great. Thank you.
Yeah.